Need something to help perk you up for prepping your next D&D session? Or maybe you need to chill out before bed after some amazing RP? Well, Many Worlds Tavern has you covered with an assortment of coffees and teas to get you through your day. Can't decide? Get on their monthly subscription plan and get a new coffee or tea to your mailbox every month, along with a set of dice, a sticker, and a homebrewed item or spell for your next character build. Use code Shelly for 10% off your next order. Again, that's code Shelly, SHELLY, for 10% off your order, excluding the monthly subscription. Drink well, roll better. Many Worlds Tavern. Hello, and welcome back to After the Table, a TTRPG podcast. 'Tis I, your favorite plus-size baddie, who likes to roll dice and twirl a tassel shoe. Shelly Von Miller here. Hi, hello, beautiful people. I hope you've been liking the season. It's been interesting, to say the least, because while we're recording this, I had to go back into doing temp work, so... Woo! Love being overworked. Love that. But this episode, we are joined by a cosplayer of the spicy variety, creator of the Crit Award-winning channel, Feywild and Out, and according to many people, my twin. Welcome to the table, Serenity, aka Click Clack Snack. Hello, darling dear.
Oh, and real quick, before you continue, I just want to make sure, I am now one of the, members, but I wasn't a creator of Feywild and Out.
Oh.
So...
I thought you helped create it.
I did not. No, I was brought on later, but I just want to make sure that the people who made it get their dues, and it's and then they added me later, because they liked me. So I won.
Their names. Drop their names.
Will. Jade Valkyrie, a Black Sparrow, I believe he goes by George. I have to look up their ads now. I'm so glad.
That's the problem. You're like, I know their actual names, but I'm not going to tell them.
Yeah, it's like, maybe I should be really, really careful with that. George, I think he goes by George Ambush, on here. And then there are other creators that were a part of this, including Pond Plays, who is no longer a part of the team at this moment.
I apologize. I thought you helped create that. But
I didn't. They just liked me, and I liked being there.
That's amazing. Yes. Let's go. Introduce yourself. Let people know who you are.
Hi, I'm not Shelly Von Miller. That's the other person here. Hi, I'm Serenity. Click, clack, snack all over the internet. I have done TTRPGs since 2020, so since the pandemic happened. But I'm also a spicy cosplayer. I create and help uplift safety rules in TTRPGs. I'm the safety coordinator and a member of the Crit Award-winning Feywild and Out. I am a DM, storyteller. I do too much all the time. I like making wigs. I'm a wig maker. I should say that. Hi, I make wigs.
Commission them. There you go. Yes. But that's amazing. I feel like that's a common occurrence in the creator space, is just, I have a lot of hats. You want to see my hats? This is a hat. That's a hat. We have hat.
They're all wigs.
Yeah.
They're all different wigs for me.
Yeah, it's all, well, in the drag community, that's what we call wigs, is like my hat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, let me put my hat on. Yep. So, yeah, now you have some little queer knowledge, podcast land. There you go. But yeah, as I said, some people might be confused that there's two of the same people on the screen. I did mention this before we went live. At Gen Con, I got confused for you several times, both while I was in drag and while I was not in drag, and I have a shaved head. So that's why I was just like, interesting.
That's crazy. I don't know how that happens.
I don't
even know how you think we look similar.
Nope. Yeah.
No?
Yeah. Not similar at all.
Mm-mm. Nope.
Mm-mm. Nope. There we go.
That was the bit. That was the whole bit I had planned.
It was the whole bit. Yes.
Yes. That was it.
Yes. But have you ever experienced that in like the nerd community or like any other communities that you're part of, like being confused with other plus sized femme presenting people?
Plus size femme presenting people. God, I need to fix my lipstick. What the heck's going on? Yes, so it's very common, especially for people who are, the same or similar skin tone. I gotta really fix this now. What did I do? There we go. The same or similar skin tones and plus size, and they have certain qualities that are really similar. It does happen. I have yet to be called Shelly Von Miller, but the minute it happens, I'm going to be like, give me your name. I need to tell Shelly this happened right now. Thank you for this gift. I appreciate it because if I'm being called someone good in the community, I don't care. I'm like, that's not me, but yay, good. But if it's, I haven't heard of anyone that's like bad. I don't think we have an evil twin.
I don't know.
I hope not.
But I hope not. Hey, if you are I don't know. I don't think we look alike. That's why I'm like, huh?
I don't think we really do either. We just are in a lot of like similar like spaces and hobbies, and like I do wigs, you vevics, I vevics.
Do you wear wigs?
Sometimes.
Will you wear wigs?
Maybe.
When will you wear wigs? Thank you. Thank you.
We have plans.
This whole podcast is gonna be just bits.
Oh no, my ADHD. I can't handle it.
Let's go.
But it has happened before. But to be honest, in a lot of spaces I'm in, specifically with like cosplay, it's growing more into spaces where more people who are plus sized are much more comfortable going out. But like when in my local spaces, there wasn't a lot of people because I've always been the person that's like, yeah, that's my body. Let me put it in a set of fishnets. I don't care. But there was a larger part in my local community where a lot of people were more covered. So I was pretty easy to point out because like, okay, where's the fat one who also isn't wearing a lot of clothes?
Yeah. I get it a lot with other. Well, whenever I was in DFW, I got it a lot with other like femme drag queens or like drag queens who are AFAB. Mm-hmm. So it's just like, are you this one? I'm like, no, honey, I'm the other one. Oh, okay.
At least
I'm
with the
other fat white woman that does drag. So
depending on how much you paint, though, it can be a little hard.
The funny part is like the person that I kept getting confused for painted like full on clown, like not clown white, but like different colors. And I'm like,
ooh,
they're crayon. I look like a goth. I look like your emo millennial friend over here, just like, let me just be Elvira. I love this person, but like, is it because we're just white and fat? Okay, well,
probably.
Maybe
they thought you went like pastel or like rainbow goth for a minute, and they were like, oh,
yeah,
that's you. But that's still not a good excuse. We don't have to make excuse for people who are being fatphobic. So,
yeah, don't be an asshole.
Please.
There you go. The TTRPG story. Don't be an asshole.
What's the more you know sound? Insert that here. I think it's free copyright.
I don't know. I don't remember. I think that was a totally different sound that I just made, but sure.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. No, like put it in post. Not loving it.
Yeah, not loving it. Yeah, I'll put it in post. Editor Shelly, look at me. Put it in post. Thanks. We're including this in the podcast.
Perfect.
I think it's funny. It's great. But So, how did you get into TTRPGs? What's your origin story, as it were?
I came from, oh God, we're hitting trauma already. I came from a very religious, very like family. Can you tell? Can you tell that I have daddy issues and religious trauma? It's not easy to find. But I came from a very like religiously like closed, like where I couldn't play TTRPGs because, you know, the devil and da-da-da-da-da-da. The minute I turned 18, I went, Mom, I'm gonna go play D&D with my friends. Because now you can't stop me. And I did. And then I realized how much I liked it. And as a theater kid, playing with other theater kids, it just easy. And I began to, you know, do more and more. For a while I was a player. And then I went, let me run my first D&D game. Because it was D&D. And I went, let me run a whole module and we're not stopping. My first game is going to be successful and we got to keep going. I don't care if you hate me by the end of it, we're finishing it. And I chose Tomb of Annihilation for my first one. And that has now set the tone for how I play games. So I run very cruel, very, I like a lot of role play. And I'm very good with rule cool. But my combat is rough. And mistakes are this much. So that's kind of how that started. Right before the pandemic hit, I actually got my first professional DMing gig. And then immediately, like literally right before the pandemic, and then it shut down. Everything shut down. And they closed because they were just up and coming. So then I went, what is everyone else doing? TikTok? Sure, I'll go there. That's where other people are. And I started going into TTRPGs there. I found a ton of amazing people, some not so great people, but a lot of great people, and here I am.
I feel like if you're a theater kid, you're bound to touch D&D or a TTRPG in your life. It will happen. Whether it's just like you do it once and then you get it out of your system, or, you know, it's just the basis of everything. I think we've had plenty of theater. I mean, we've had a full-on people from the 20-Sided Tavern on the podcast.
Yes! I love them.
That's like ultimate theater kids right there. Like, but yeah, it's one of those things. I think if I tried to do theater, I did more tech stuff.
That's also
than
really
anything. Yeah. But I was also like a kid that couldn't afford to do a lot of things, so I was just like, well, I'll just read my books. That's fine. And so I think that's how it took me a while. I also, can we just admit that some people go through a pick-me stage in their life?
Oh, I did.
And
I 100% did.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
How did you declaw yourself from that? Because I also went through a pick-me stage. My 20s. Let's be for fucking real. While, you know, as a 20, whenever you're in your 20s, it happens. It just gets its little grimy fingers in you, and it's like, not in a good way either.
No. I guess it was more like a gatekeepy pick-me stage. And it was actually when I was still in high school. Because I was very much like, I started cosplay in like 2012. So like I was still in high school at that point. Aging myself. I was still in high school at that point. And I, like, there was a lot of, like, stereotyping, not like, of course there was, like, the bad ones, which I was like, hey, no. But there was the double character, and, like, you can't cosplay this person because I'm cosplaying this person, and those things. And it just took, like, me realizing and, like, going into the space and realizing, oh, that's stupid. Wait, why did I even think that? It was education. It was legitimately education and firsthand experience that helped stop any kind of pick-me behavior. Yeah, and I apologize for those years. Like, it's something where I'm like, the person who got it the worst was my best friend at the time, who I'm still very close with.
No.
So it's someone where they were like, yeah, that was bad. And I'm like, yeah, well, you were also terrible. And they're like, yeah, okay, cool. So we made it through.
At least we can both admit we were not good people.
We fixed it!
We fixed it. Yeah, I think my advice for people who are like, I don't want to be a pick-me, but I'm still a pick-me. Education, like you said. And also just realizing, decentering a lot of stereotypes that you have of people, and decentering men. I think that's the main reason, is like, you gotta decenter men from your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's hard. Even men go through a pick-me stage, and I'm like, you just gotta decenter other men, my dude.
Yeah. Like, I do think a majority of my friends at this point are, like, AMAB. But it's not, like, for me trying to be in a spot where I'm only surrounded by, like, people who are either male or AMAB or are considered, like, are, presenting male. It's nothing like that anymore. It's not something where I'm like, let me generalize this. It's more so of just like, that's how it happens, and if I take a stock of my friends, that's just how it's gonna be. Also, TTRPGs is just full of, like, men, and then also beautiful women, and like just full of amazing, beautiful, phenomenal people. And it's just like, at this point, gender is whatever.
Gender is construct. Get over it.
Gender is whatever. Like, I don't keep score of who I'm friends with anymore. As long as they're good people, as long as, I'm genuinely reaching out and I'm creating friendships. It doesn't matter to me anymore. It's like someone might go, well, that person's, like, not that cool. Their follower count's really low. And I'm like, who gives a fuck? I don't care! Yeah, no, people still do that. It's gross.
Guys, we gotta stop that shit. Let's come on.
Yeah.
Me just staring at the camera. Come on, guys. It's how do you? I guess what advice would you give people who are wanting to gather these relationships within the TTRPG space, and they're like, but my follower count.
It is. If you meet the right people, it's not going to matter. And if you meet someone who's focused on that, like, don't get me wrong, there is, like, the comfortability of having a follower count, of having the social media for vetting purposes. I completely understand. Just so you can go, oh, okay, I know I've seen this person in this, or I know they're connected to these people, so I feel safer talking to this person. But if you're new in this space and you're getting accustomed to it, I mean, it's something where honesty, being open, being flexible, genuinely trying to like make friendships and like good relationships, not assuming every friendship, or excuse me, not assuming every professional relationship will become a friendship. I have said this on Classic Sam's podcast. I have said I open every professional opportunity for the welcome hand of a friendship, because that's just the way I like to do my professional workings. Because if I don't want to be friends with someone, I don't, or if there's someone that I want to work with, they have the qualities of someone I'd want to be friends with, but not because they're mutually exclusive, but because I think they're cool. I think they do fun things. I enjoy spending time with them. But if someone goes, hey, I just want to be like, mutuals, professional, I'd be like, cool. Awesome. That's great. I'm so glad we can still share space together. So it's honestly just honest intentions, I guess. I'm a rambler. I'm sorry, but it's honest intentions.
No, it's okay. Also, we love Sam in this house, by the way. I adore Sam. Adore them so much. I could just ramble on about people that we probably both know and just be like, I love these people. I love them.
We're making it harder not to be twins anymore, because it's like, all the same people, you're in the same...
That's true. it's really hard because it's just like, oh yeah, we know like a lot of the similar people is like, oh yeah, that's why they keep confusing us.
I will laugh though if any of our mutuals mix us up though. I'm not gonna lie.
No, nobody has.
Oh well, I will laugh at them, and I'll be like,
I'd be like, well, that happens. It's like I do say that sometimes. It's just like, yeah, a lot of white people do look the same.
We do. A lot do.
Happens. Yeah, I'm like, oh, yeah.
But I'm also like, you think I'm pretty? Thank you.
Stop. It's the same. I was like, oh my god, stop. I was like, my tits don't look that big. Thank you.
Here, you can have some. Take some.
Thank you.
Then we can twin.
Yes. Thank you so much. I always made the joke. I was like, if they ever came out with like the surgery of just like you could have like twist off boobs and people could just like people who would want to get rid of boobs could just twist them off and like trade them with somebody who would want bigger boobs.
Like a Bratz doll?
Like a Bratz doll.
Oh, hold on. I have other fat to donate for that. And I want that to happen, but with asses, because I have no ass.
Yeah.
Do you have an ass?
I have an ass, but I have some stomach that you can have to
fill it
to
up.
Pad your ass. Yeah.
I appreciate it. Because okay, that's the difference. If you're looking at tits, you're looking at Serenity. If you're looking at ass, that's Shelly. That's the way to find us differently.
Shelly always shows her ass on stage. There we go.
I try, but it's a frog. It's like a frog butt. Like, put a picture of a frog butt here. But I got great tits, so there you go.
And you can see them on the internet. Speaking of
yes!
which, speaking of which, you are. We've said this many times on the podcast. Sex work is real work. We've had many discussions with sex workers in the TTRPG space, and you're an outspoken sex worker in the TTRPG space. What? You don't shy away from it at all. Like, on your media kit, it's like, sex worker.
I think it's
How
like
did you...
the top.
Yeah, it's like, cosplayer, sex worker, TTRPG, voice actor, something like that. Like, whatever order. What made you make sure that whenever brands want to work with you or people want to work with you, they're like, oh yeah, okay, this is what can I expect, as opposed to like other people who are like, I have to separate these two just to like make sure I'm PC in a way.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of it is I can separate it between like, having the, oh my god, what's the word? I can't even think of the word. Hi, I don't know words.
Talk it out. I do the same thing.
When you have something that other people don't, but it's given to you directly, what white people have.
Oh, privilege.
Thank you. I don't know why I forgot that word. Brain. It's Friday. It's not Friday when this is posted, maybe. I don't know.
When this is being recorded, it is a Friday.
It is Friday.
Brains hurt.
I have a lot of privilege to be able to do so. I also have a lot of unbridled confidence. Is that coming from a place of stupidity? Possibly. But it's something where I genuinely enjoy being someone that has the patience and the gall. I'm going to call it the gall. I am willing to put myself out there because I love what I do. I have fun doing it. Like, I don't mind that people want to pay me because they think I'm hot. I think that's great. I love being paid for being hot. You want to give me $10 just for looking cute? Please give me $10 for looking cute. But it's also not everything that I do. It's just a large portion of it. And by large portion, I mean I'm large, and it's a portion of it, and you see a lot of it, because I put my body out a lot. It's something where I like to be overly honest. So putting out what I do is important to me. In a situation where, like, voice acting roles, if I'm auditioning for something where me being who I am wouldn't work, if I really want that role, you can use a pseudonym. You can use like a secret, fake things. That's not anything. I can do that. I can fix that. But someone wanting me, legitimately wanting me as a confident plus size person who knows that I find myself sexy. I find myself beautiful. I also find myself talented, and this is all, and I do have to say, I'm not doing this out of like ego. A lot of people say, well, you say this and it's ego. I'm doing this out of what I can copy paste, show you as factual on the internet. And it might not be the perfect talent or the right beauty for everyone. But if someone wants to work with me, and either an individual, a company, a group of people, I want them to know that they do have someone who is confident in themselves, who is willing to stand up for people who are in similar shoes that I'm in, who may not feel confident enough to be able to do these things, or just people who need to see themselves, who uplift themselves so positively and see themselves so positively and defend themselves in a way that they may not be able to do or may not know they're able to do. So in reality, maybe it is a warning, but more so a warning to people like a beautiful little dart frog. That's why my hair is green. A beautiful little dart frog where it's like, you know what? You're looking at this and there's a lot happening, but if you treat that frog right, people always want to go look at the pretty frog because they're like, oh, look at all the pretty colors. And I don't know.
The colors.
Big colors. There's just a lot about me that I like to be honest and open about. And if someone wants to work with me up until they hear the part that I'm a sex worker and they think that any of my other talents are lesser because of that, that's an issue. That's their fault because it's not my fault. I've shown that I can be, all of these things. And I do have a lot of growth to be had, but it's not because I'm a sex worker. It's because talent can always grow.
True. Very true. Very true. Have you, in the TTRPG space specifically, have you encountered issues of people going like, oh, you're a sex worker, I want nothing to do with you? Or, you're a sex worker, you obviously are going to make like a character that's like overly sexual?
So it's a general, I would like to say it's a general stereotype, and I know there are a lot of other sex workers in the community that can state that, and there may be other people who have more outright, upfront, examples of it. I have a lot of people who just block me, who just don't want to talk to me. And that's fine. If they don't want anything to do with me, that's so cool. I don't want anything to do with you. I don't have the time for that. I have all of these people that I would love to do things with. But there's also this huge stigma in larger companies that are trying to keep themselves awkwardly either weirdly PG when a lot of their content isn't necessarily PG, or they just think that will lessen their brand somehow. And there are a couple companies where I can understand, Wizards of the Coast being owned by Hasbro. I can understand the mother company not being too excited about who you're interacting with at that point. Do I think it's stupid still? Yeah, I definitely do, because it's separate. But I can understand a little bit about going, maybe a toy company shouldn't necessarily connect directly that way. But that doesn't mean that they can't have other offshoots that do support those people. It's mostly for me, though, what I get negative about myself, rather than just being a sex worker, it's that I'm not the right body type for a sex worker. Because there are sex workers in the TTRPG community that are very well respected and uplifted and, have all these followers and things they can do, and have been on channels that have in the past, or by word of mouth from people who I trust, have stated that they don't really, outwardly support sex workers, but they've had them, in their games, or in in their promotions where they're showing this, but I don't see many fat sex workers. And maybe it's just because there isn't a lot of us. That could really be the reason. But there's also not a lot of people of color who are sex workers that are doing those things. There's not a lot of disabled sex workers who are doing these things that are being shown and uplifted. It's typically, and I love sex workers. It's not me trying to point out one particular group because I'm mad or jealous, because I'm mutuals with a lot of people and friends with a lot of people who are sex workers, who are skinny and white. But a lot of them also really know the privilege they have of being skinny and white. And, socially, what is the word? Socially attractive is not the right thing, but it's the
Conventionally.
vibe. Conventionally, thank you. Conventionally attractive. And I love that. I get to look at them and I get to talk to them and they have amazing brains and they're beautiful and I love them. But it is something where a company or a group of people will pick someone who's a sex worker who or does sexual things because they're conventionally attractive versus someone like me, where a lot of people can assume it's fetishized content. Now, is some of it? Yeah, give me the money. Any sex worker will do some form of fetishization for money, unless it's outwardly a no. Because for most sex workers, they go, yeah, here's this. Feet is fetishization. It's little things. But because I'm fat, people think I'm specifically a fetish sex worker. And maybe they don't want to be tied to that.
That's not that not wanting to be tied to that. That's not the weird part. It's that because you're plus size, you have to be a fetish, sex worker. Huh?
No, it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make any fucking sense. I'm like, because I'd be like, if somebody was like, show me them toes, I'm like, ew, no. Are you gonna pay for the toes before? Like, are you gonna pay for me to get them done before?
Yes.
Because, no, my feet look jank sometimes. I was in the army. My feet look jank.
Those boots don't help.
No. I was like, trust me, you do not want to see these janky feet. But, the fact that the funny thing is I've been told a lot of things on the internet because of, they're like, oh, look at that. There was whenever I'm in drag and doing videos and I'm plus size and doing drag anyways, so that's a whole nother thing on top of that. But people they'll say some weird ass shit and I'm like, what are you talking about, my dude? Go away. You don't have to watch. But
yeah,
the fact that companies that would be in this space, they're all like, hey, we're okay with you, but we're not okay with you, is kind of weird.
It's okay with expectations, or it's okay with limitations. But a lot of people do get that as well, and it's not, and I can only speak from my experience of what I've had happen. And I know it's not the only experience, because I do know it does happen to, the creators in the space that are people of color, who are, who are disabled and, are showing it or talking about it consistently. But they're not, they don't have a large follower count. Because sometimes, if they have a large follower count, people will go, yeah, you know what? I think we could probably work with that, even if you do this stuff. And that's, that's whatever. But there are plenty of companies, there are plenty of groups, there are plenty of people who look at people based off of, who they are versus what they're
able to give instead.
They'll look at that rather than the value of a person. But there's a lot of great people and great groups that do look at people at what they do, but also uplift who they are. Because I don't think it should ever be ignored that people are doing these things. I'm sure there are plenty of times that I've been like, are you comfortable if I say I do this stuff on your show? And they're like, can you mention that it's in your link tree, but not necessarily go in too heavy? And I'm like, you know what? I can get that. 100% I'll do that, because I'm more than happy to be flexible. But if they're like, yeah, we don't really support that here, I've never had that, because they know not to invite me, because then I'll be like, why am I here? You know? But, you know, also in cosplay, versus just, like, being myself, but being in character, a lot of people just assume I am the fat version of this, or I am a fat mod of this. Probably one of my most popular cosplays is my Squirrel Girl cosplay, but it's not because I'm just a cute Squirrel Girl, but it's because people are like, oh, it's the fat mod. Now, don't get me wrong, are there a lot of people saying it positively? Yes, there are a lot of people saying that positively, and I take it as a joke, and I wear it with pride now, because I can do that, because I went, this is funny, give that to me, now I can use it, instead of you using it at me. But it's always, oh, you're a fat this person, or are you doing it based off of this fetish art, or this? And I'm like, no, I'm just Harley Quinn, dude. I'm just Squirrel Girl. I'm just Karlach. Like, that I'm just this. And I'm fat. You know? And I know you get that with drag, where it's like, oh my god, you are a fat drag queen. And it's like, no, I'm just a drag queen who is fat.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, you're like campy. I'm like, no, honey, I take my clothes off on stage. You could sometimes see my full ass tit on stage. If
Wonderful.
my pussy does not fucking fit right. Like, I show my whole not my whole ass, but like I show my ass on stage.
Yes. Thank you, by the way.
I'm glad people appreciate it. I mean, my whole I created a whole tagline around showing my ass on stage. It's she's class, she's trash, and she shows a whole lot of ass.
Perfect.
Like, come on.
Delicious, beautiful, perfect.
Mwah. Book me, people.
Book Shelly.
Book me so I can show ass on your stage.
Please.
Please. But speaking of cosplay, I've always wanted to get into cosplay, but it's one of those things that I'm like, I think it's the embodying a character that I can't get into, because I'm like, oh, I want the character to feel like something I created, as opposed to something, you know, like I'll cosplay like some of my TTRPG characters that I created, or like whenever there's a character creator in a game, I'll cosplay that. But I'm like, I don't know if I can get into the headspace of like cosplaying Poison Ivy or you know, Catwoman or something like that. How do you get into that mindset of like, oh, I'm gonna cosplay this character, this is how I'm going to represent it, this is how, you know, I get into this mindset and figure that out?
So, to be honest, you don't have to do that. Like, I like to do that. I like to do that on my TikToks. I'm also someone who likes doing, like, when I do voices, I'm a voice actor too, I forgot to say that earlier. When I do voices,
Book them.
Please. I like to do a lot of, like, impressions. I do like doing, like, impressionist things, and I do like embodying well-known characters and, like, taking my own spin on that, because I do like to act. Versus like TTRPGs, which is something I've talked about before. It is acting, but it is a lot of improv, so you're coming with a completely different mindset from there. But with cosplay, this is already a set character. So if you want to come in with the idea of like, yes, now I'm going to embody the character, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do the voice. I do that, I'm happy to do that, because there will be people who yell across the like, whole con space, and they'll be like, oh my god, it's Rogue, and I'm like, hey there, sugar, you know, like, I'll do that because it's funny and it's fun and I have fun doing it. But there's no reason that you feel like you should have to, because there are people who just dress up because they're like, I want to dress up. But with the way that you mentioned looking at characters and wanting to have like a personal connection, I might suggest, if you're open to the idea, if you like fan fiction, maybe writing some fan fiction of how you like the characters, maybe finding different artistic representations of the characters, taking, like, headcanons, and, like, you make your character the way you want to do it. Like, Poison Ivy, it doesn't have to be Poison Ivy from, like, Arkham Asylum, because that's a very specific version of her.
don't get me wrong, I like that Poison Ivy. I'm more of like the movie Poison Ivy.
Uma Thurman.
I mean, I have her whole fucking face.
Oh, you do? Oh my
arm.
god, you do have a full... I didn't even notice.
I have a full... It's like one of those things, it's like, I love Poison Ivy.
Yes.
But it's one of those things, it's like, I would represent... Because I think that's one of those things, it's like, it's a burlesque version of Poison Ivy, and I love it. It's a very campy drag. It's drag.
It's drag.
Let's get through it. It's drag. That bitch is a drag queen.
Yeah.
I think that's the one part that I would represent, or the one from the Harley Quinn animated series.
Yes, where they're in love.
Like, I love her because it's like, yes, arson, yes, just a total bitch, and queer, cool, thanks.
Yes, no, 100%. So if you find a version that you like, bring that in, because there are, like, you know, a cosplay, it doesn't have to be fully canon. Like, I'll show you this. No one is going to see it till tomorrow officially, so you are officially the first look, but then everyone else watching this is not the first look, because it will be out.
That's true. That's true.
I drag up my wigs. like I do, I use camp and I drag my cosplays. That's not canon for most of them, but that's what I like to do. This is Betty from Date Everything. Like, is she...
Oh, I love...
She's big and she's floofy and she's a pillow, but like, and I gave her drag bedhead because that's what's fun for me.
Hell
and
yeah.
like all these things. So you take the interpretation of the character that you like. There's a lot of like, I'm gonna bring in something a little controversial. There's a lot of stigma about when Danganronpa became really popular and was on TikTok everywhere. That's when I got introduced to Danganronpa, and I do really love that series. But and even if you're like, it's cringe, it's this one, cringe lives on in 2025. I'm all about cringe. If you're not hurting anyone, if you're not making fun of someone, if you're not hurting someone, I don't give a fuck. Have fun, be cringe. You can't be a cosplayer and not say that.
That part. Very much that part.
But there's something that's gotta be said for how individual they made those characters look and act and behave in those cosplay videos without being canonical. Because there were small bits where you're like, that actually made this character better. Or I could see why this character would have this, even though it's not canon. And there are other things where you're like, okay, well, maybe you don't have to put a pad on your head. You know, maybe we shouldn't do that one. But, like, you know, there are things where it's like, maybe that doesn't quite work. But, and this is part of me getting out of my pick-me, like, super, like, not helpful phase of like, you gotta be canon, you gotta look like the character. That was also people pushing me as someone who's fat to go, you can't do this, and I went, so I have to be perfect. Do it the way you want to do it. If you see aspects of the Uma Thurman version of Poison Ivy that you love, but then you take other versions, you're like, you know what, I like this bodice, and I like how her bodysuit looks, and I like her eyebrows in this, but I really like how her hair looks in the Arkham Asylum version, so I'm gonna do her hair like that and put it with this costume. People are still gonna know who you are, and you're gonna have more fun because you've done things the way you want. There are characters that, like Miku. Every Miku is canonically canon. Any Miku you make is canonically canon. So
I've seen a Miku with like hair legs, and I'm like, how is this possible? What is
canon.
going on?
Canon.
It's
Fred Durst Miku, canon. It's really funny. I'll send it to you after this.
Please,
it's
please.
so funny. But also, like,
as a former Limp Bizkit fan, please.
Yes, it's so good. And then, like, you know, like, there's a Warhammer, like, version of Miku. Like, all of these are canon, technically, and none of them are canon. Like, if you just looked at them, you're like, where did that come from?
True.
They're mine.
It's because Miku is a planeswalker. She's in Magic the Gathering, people.
She's
too
strong.
She's too strong. I actually don't think they made a planeswalker version of Miku. I know you can make her a commander, but I don't know if they made her a planeswalker.
That's still really strong, though. All the commanders in, like, Magic are extremely strong. Or extremely hilarious, but I think I'm putting Miku on the stronger side of things.
That's true.
But long story short, do whatever you want, whatever makes you happy, whatever makes you comfortable. You don't have to be in character unless you want to. You can do little fun things. I mean, I would hold the back credit card. Like, that'd be one thing. It'd be like, props, prop it up, so then you don't have to do anything. But do it the way you want to. Be happy. Be joyous in your stuff.
Hell yeah. Hell yes. So you're part of Feywild and Out, and y'all got nominated and won this past year a Crit Award. How does it feel to be part of like a because it was specifically for the safety tools, correct?
It was just general, so it was a legacy Twitch.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a legacy Twitch.
Okay.
We did have a nomination for another channel I'm a part of called Total Party Kiss that was nominated for safety tools.
There we go.
Specifically. I saw you. Twin brain length.
There you go.
But Feywild Now was for a legacy Twitch channel. So I'm going to be honest, I have done things with Feywild and Out in the past. I was a part of their Triangle Agency game when that came out. It was so fun. It was wonderful. I got to meet amazing people, and that was my first time interacting with them. And then I went, hey, can I run a Mass Effect game, pretty please? And they went, yes, we'd love that. And I got to become very, very good friends with them and work with them professionally. This is one of those, like, positive, like professional two friends, but very fast because it just clicked. And then I was invited on. And I'm very honored, I'm very lucky. And it makes me feel phenomenal because the whole point of Feywild and Out is to create a space where people of color can play a game and feel comfortable, and it's primarily BIPOC. As two of the creators, Jade Valkyrie and a Black Sparrow, they are people of color. So it's something where, and even me as like a white person, because I know my privilege being in the space in the first place, but the fact that people feel comfortable enough around me to bring me in, to do safety tools, to be a part of a space like that cultivates and uplifts voices in the space that have been ignored and pushed aside. I'm over the moon that people feel comfortable with me. And that's better than anything else, I think, personally, and I know all of my past, like, games and my past, like, me being me have led to this. But it is the most, like, pride, like, there's my ego, because people feel safe with me, and because they trust me and they feel comfortable and know that I can help uplift this ideal and be in a space that promotes it, and also be, like, brought in as leadership, to be able to help make it succeed. It's phenomenal. It's great. It's amazing. But there's a lot of work that they did before I even got there that got them where they are. I do want to say Mass Effect Mirage is one of my favorite things that I've ever done, and our cast is phenomenal. It's Jade Valkyrie, a Black Sparrow, it's Mozzarella, and he is so many different things all over. Let me find out what he is on his, I think his most popular.
Blue Sky.
His Blue Sky? His Blue Sky? Okay.
Yes.
Hang on.
Blue Sky, TikTok, something.
It's Daryl, and he's a voice actor, but he goes by a couple different things. Daryl,
I need you to get with branding, my friend. I need you branding across the board on social media.
Across the board, Daryl, please.
Across the board.
And this will actually be coming back. I don't remember when we're talking about bringing this back, or when this is coming. Daryl Dorsey. .bluesky.social. I think he's Daryl Dorsey on most things. But he's also like Mr. Daryl Dorsey on something else, and then Daryl Dorsey VA, whatever. Fairly consistent, just not perfectly consistent. But we're coming back September 22nd. So that game will be coming out. But that's one of my favorite things we've ever done. Or I've ever done. I hope everyone really loves it. And Sparrow was nominated for his character work in that game for Best D&D Character. He didn't win, but I believe it was Meadow who won that. And I was like, good, happy, very happy. I love Meadow.
Love Meadow. So going back to that, I'm glad that people feel comfortable with me. And like, how did you cultivate, not to like make a formula out of it, but like how people who are wanting to make sure that they are seen as, good people in the space, people that people can rely on, especially white people who are wanting to be like, hey, I'm not like other white people, I promise. I promise I'm cool.
I'm not practicing in caucasity,
Yeah. It's like, hey, I promise it's not like the, hey, but like I voted for Obama twice type of people.
I have black friends, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that type of thing. Like how and it not feel, I guess, God damn it, now I can't think of the word.
Sorry, I'm giving you this.
Not forced.
Yeah.
Where it doesn't feel forced or like disingenuous. That's the word. Why am I fucking thinking of big words?
Because we're
no brain here. I have no brain. My brain is broken. Why am I thinking big words?
Maybe if you put on a wig, it will help.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true. Hold
on. The honest answer is you can't just say it. It's something where you have to prove it. Because I will talk about it all day. I will talk about how much I, find it stupid that there is a separation and that people are creating all white casts and are letting people not casting them. And I know some of it's not on purpose. It's like them going, oh, I'm not thinking about it. But the problem is them not thinking about it. It's action. I can't tell you how to be a good ally other than genuinely just being an ally. And I still have so much to learn. And I'm not the perfect ally. I'm not. I've done the things that I have done in the past that have led me here. But I'm sure there are things that if I look back, I go, that was stupid. I should have never done that. That's really dumb. Because I also am very openly neurodivergent on many or some scales. I don't know. It costs too much here to officially diagnose which ones. But I know. I have a really high score on the RADS test. I have a really good gold star high score. But it's hard for me to look at people and be like, why aren't we including these people? So, but that also, when I first started playing TTRPGs, I was running Tragedy Theologian. It's still running, by the way. It's a great game. It's a Greek mythology 5e. Or it's a 5e Greek mythology inspired game in its own world. And I love it. It's my brainchild. But when I first started running that, there was an old Twitch channel. And I don't know if you remember it or if you were there during that time, but it was called, trigger warning for some people who were a part of it, Bard Community College.
I think I heard of them.
Probably really bad things because, yep. And I was a part of that because that's where one of my other games, which is also trigger warning, Witches of Woodside, was playing. So we were running on there for a while, and I was going to run Tragedy of Theologian, and I was talking to them about putting it on the channel. And the person who I was talking to at that point in time, we don't need to say her name because she doesn't matter, and she doesn't need to be given a space to come back or to be, even thought about. I was talking to her and she went, you need to cast people of color. And my brain went, you're right, because it's lacking in the space. And that was like 2020, end of 2020, 2021, when that big thing happened of like people going, hey, we need to have more people of color in the space. And that was like the first time I had experienced it. And I went, you're right. Yes, you are. You're correct. So when I was told that, I went, because it's an issue. You're 100% correct. And then I went to my mutuals that I had. And that's how I found my best friend. Like, one of my best friends, a fluffy Goomba. Christian is one of the most phenomenal people I've ever met. So talented, award-winning, stunning, amazing. And I asked him to be on it because I genuinely went, yes, this is a problem. And he spoke up about it, and I went, you're 100% right, and I like your vibe, and would you be interested? And that's how we met. And then I asked all these people. And later I found out it was because there was an issue with diversity, and they were trying to fill the diversity ingenuinely through my game. And I'm like, great, awesome. I found people I really like to play with, so I won. Thank you very much. That's great. I have so many phenomenal and amazing friends. So thank you. And thank my brain for misunderstanding it being them looking socially versus morally. But it's things like that where coming out right. I didn't think it was an issue of, you're just doing this to get views and be seen as someone diverse. I didn't see that. And that's where the issue of, like, how do I make myself look like I'm an ally? That's the negative portion. Doing those actions without intent behind it, that's where the negativity comes in. And me being stupid was also negative. Because I did ask all these people, because I did want to play with them, don't get me wrong, but I specifically did ask them because of what was being asked of me. And then I found a perfect group, and it worked great. And I still have, like, amazing connections with the people that I did ask, because I'm like, hey, I do want to play games with you. Would you be interested in this? Yes or no? If you are. Some did come on, like Mr. Adup. He doesn't do a lot of TTRPGs right now, but he came in for a while. He plays this amazing, amazing character who will be back someday, hopefully. Adam, I miss you. But I've met amazing people this way. And it's the action of doing so. In addition, I do have to say the things that suck for me as a person. And it's not like actually sucks for me, but it's confrontation which sucks for me. I've had to tell people that I notice there's a lack of diversity, but I do it silently. I'm not going to tell you who it is on here because that's stupid. But I am going to tell you I do it so people understand that it legitimately happens behind the scenes. I've told people, hey, this blank thing doesn't have a lot of diversity. Did you notice this? I don't want to assume you did or did not. So then they can fix it on their own. And if they don't, then that's not my problem because I did what I needed to do. And then I can notify people that this occurred if they bring them up to me later. I'm not going to bring it up like disingenuously and be like, oh, cancel this person. If someone asks me about that person later, I'll be like, this did occur. I just want you to know just in case this is an issue for you. So more for like people being safe. And I've turned down paid opportunities because the cast was lacking. And I stepped back and instead found people to fill those slots instead, or at least try to fill those slots instead. Because, damn, am I mad that I missed out on a paid opportunity? Yes. So, I'm not mad, but I'm sad. Because I'm like, I wanted the money, but I want my friends to have those opportunities as well. And I also want to make sure that I am playing what I preach. I want to make sure that I'm continuously doing these things. So long story short, just do it. Just actively do it. Ask questions, get into conversations, get into watching people and learning about people who are in the space rather than just going, yes, here is this notable person of color in the space. I haven't seen anything you've been in. Let me, get close to you so then, I'm safe. That's something where it's like, yeah, don't do that. But genuinely becoming a fan, genuinely becoming a professional colleague, genuinely becoming, if you and them are comfortable to do so, a friend, is so important. So, and also don't ask me, ask people of color what we should be doing, because I'm going to tell you what I do.
Well, there's also the fact that people of color don't need to educate every single white person
Absolutely.
on how to be a better ally. Because it's one of those things, it's like, it's great to ask and make sure that, like, you know, it's like, hey, is this okay? But not in the, like, can I get a pass for this? Or teach me everything you know type of situation.
Yes.
Because, hey, people, like, no, just don't ask for like a full thesis statement from somebody about, you know, their culture and history, because Google exists.
Yeah, I was going to say a lot of people have been gracious enough and wonderful and put up, like, if you look at their social medias, they've put up, here are things you can go do, here are things you can look at, here are ways to start. That's why I'm saying, like, not ask, I suppose was the wrong word, but to do research and to you know, genuinely look into these things. And people have and will, if they care, will give you what you need to succeed and to grow, without outright telling you. Of course I do still, like, ask my friends. I'm like, hey,
like,
is this, am I misreading this? Because there are times where I'm like, I don't know the tone. Is this bad, or did I do this wrong or something? And I'm not looking for them to be like, oh my god, look at you, you're just a good little ally. That's not what I want. I want them to tell me, or be like, hey, maybe don't do that. Or if they're like, no, you said this correctly, this is the right verbiage. But I also go, hey, do you have, like, enough energy to tell me about this? But I only also ask my friends that are really close friends of mine who can go, Serenity, shut up! Let's go play Overwatch. I don't care.
Yeah. We'll talk about it while we're getting kills in Overwatch.
Exactly.
Also, I love the fact, on Blue Sky, like, people have been creating those, I don't remember what it's called.
Oh, the lists!
Like, the groups, the lists. And I'm like, I found so many great people through that. I'm like, oh, sweet. Let me just go through this and follow all. Or somebody made like a, hey, block these people list. And I'm like, sweet, block.
Yeah, no, and I do really appreciate that. I still recommend definitely vetting those lists. Because there's sometimes where people, like, you may know something that someone else doesn't know, and they put them on there by accident. Or, like, someone's in the block list. It's like, okay, why is this person in the block list? Can we talk about why? But, yeah.
It's mostly, like bots or they're known Republicans, and I'm like,
yeah,
okay,
ew.
block.
Ew!
Ew.
Icky!
No. No, thank you. Block. But yeah, like, the list, I'm like, oh, this is such a great idea. Because Twitter has lists, but it's mostly like it's a segregated feed of those people on the list, and I'm like, okay.
It feels, when it's on Twitter, it feels like a wanted list, or a watch list. Because I've looked up, and I'm like, am I on any of these? Because I just want to see what I'm on. Because I also do that for Blue Sky, because I'm like, how many people are trying to block me because I'm a sex worker? Which happens.
Also, I don't get how people don't get notified that they are not on list. Like, Blue Sky, I need you to do that. Like, if somebody gets added to a list, let them know. Please.
Yeah, that's something. I'm really glad that Clear Sky exists for that information, and then also.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, so if you go to Clear Sky, it is like a back end, so you can look, like, logistically. You can see you can also see who's blocked you. Which I don't like that particularly, because I look at it because it's there, but then I go, oh, I don't like that, because I don't mind if people block me, but it feels bad when I know who they are, or if I, like, not know who they are, because I don't think I've had any, like, friends of mine that block me, because that would make me feel really weird. But, like, if I know who did it, and then I'm like, I didn't like you anyway. You know? Like, just silently. Yeah, exactly. Just silently. But it also tells you what list you're on, but it's weird that you have to look through, like, a back screen to do something where it's like, you've been added to this list, so then you can remove yourself from that list or block people, because that's it feels really unsafe for some of those lists because Republican blue sky is growing somehow, and I'm like, I don't get that, but okay.
Well, they took over Mastodon, and so Mastodon's like a total shit show now. And I was like, well, okay, bye.
I signed up for a Mastodon, and that's as far as I went. And then everyone's like, we're not doing that anymore. And I'm like, okay, fuck the elephant, I guess. Let's go.
All right. There you go. There you go. So, what can people expect from you coming up? What's on the horizon?
I don't know what will be out at this point, so I'm just going to talk about the things that are...
Hold on.
Oh, yeah,
hold on,
thank
I'll
you.
let you know. I could... Editor Shelly, edit this out.
Edit this out. There's magic.
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 Magic. Okay, your episode comes out... That's not the right date. I was like, why does it say today? It's because it's not today. September 29th. There we go.
Ooh, good. Okay, there's a lot of stuff I'm doing then.
So let's hold on.
Yes.
So what can people expect coming out from you soon? Or like what's on the horizon?
So Mass Effect Mirage is running again. So we're on season 2, part 1. We're gonna split this up into different parts because con season is in December, and
Hooray.
people are busy and popular, and I love that for them. So that's currently happening, and then Diadems and Lace is currently running, which is my all sex worker game that is running on Feywild and Out, and my wonderful, wonderful Cass, who is Small Bird Lex.
Love Lex.
Love Lex. Madness Diamond. Hey, I'm pulling.
My friend Diamond?
Your our friend Diamond.
Our friend Diamond.
Our friend Diamond. Edit this out. I'm pulling up the list. Because people have changed their usernames. Chrissy in Color. And HT Havoc.
Okay.
So,
right.
who is a voice actor, who's a not shape for work voice actor. So everyone in the show, including me, surprise, is a sex worker. So we are playing thirsty sword lesbians.
As it should be.
As it should be.
As it should be.
And we're running a little fun, like. I don't want to get too deep into it because I don't want to spoil anything. It's a short thing, but it's a celebration of life that has a lot of mystery behind it.
Ooh.
So that's really fun. Tragedy of Theologian is still running on some Sundays. Sundays we can get it to. So if you follow Total Party Kiss. That is the only thing currently running on there, so you'll get notified when we are running something. VODs and everything will be coming out. I am redoing my, I might be out at this point. I am redoing my safety tool called the Butterfly Effect. So I'm just gonna reintroduce that out. Like it's brand new, but it's not. But it's a good idea. So if you like safety tools that are like in-game hints, but are very obvious, then don't have to break, like you don't have to break your game to give a safety tool. It's very in-game, very cinematic. That might be a really good fit for you. I will be at PAX U! And I'll hopefully be doing something. I'll be looking cute. You can find me looking cute, for sure.
For sure.
For sure.
I'm excited.
I think that's really all that I have initially, like, coming out at this point. Always keep an eye on my socials because if something else is happening, because I'm always up for being in people's games. I'm always up for, doing little things. I have games that will be coming out, that are coming out, but I'm just not sure at the consistency of it. So check my socials. I'm going to talk about it because I like talking about the cool things I'm in. Maybe
yeah.
I'll be playing a little horror game. Maybe I'll be playing a really sexy stripper mutant in a Marvel game. Who knows?
Hell yeah.
Crazy.
Who knows? Speaking of where people can find you on the internet, where can people find you on the internet?
I am Click Clack Snack. Click Clack like the sound of dice. Snack because I am a snack. Without the K at the end. All over the internet. It should be all the same on all my socials. You can find me on my spicy sites. I'm on OnlyFans and on Fansly. So you can do fun things there, because I do fun things there. I think that is all my socials. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Blue Sky. It's all the same. On Blue Sky, because it gives you a little bit more flexibility, I do have a separate not safe for work page on there, because they make it easy. That one's not snack for work, so you can follow that if you want to see the spicy stuff there. Thank you. That's I need a huff laugh. That's exactly what I was looking for.
That's my... Damn it, that was good.
Thank you.
That was good. Not... Because it spells out the thing. It says the thing. Oh my god.
It does the thing. It did the title.
It did the title. They said the thing. They said
said
the word.
I don't know. You can add an invincible joke there if you want. Or not. Make me look stupid. I'm good either way.
With that, you can find all those links for Serenity down below in the show notes. Speaking of finding people on the internet, you can find me everywhere on the internet at Shelly Von Miller, to include Fourth Wall memberships and Patreon, where you can get early access to this podcast and behind the scenes stuff, as well as Patron exclusive segments like Table Sets, which we're going to go record right after this. So yeah, you should totally go do that. Paid tiers start at $7 a month. And if you want it all, you can have it all, baby. For $25 a month, you can see it all. Not all, not really. I can't do it there, but maybe elsewhere. or you can book me somewhere and I will do a burlesque show. There you go. With that being said, I love you guys, and I will see you on the internet. Goodbye.